So I think it's live on both platforms. Testing. Okay, let's see. Okay, so to start off today's stream, I wanted to go over the 3 typical coins I go through, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So starting off with Bitcoin, we're pretty much testing all-time highs right now. We're at 111. It might be a fake out here. I think we'll get a better look at how real this breakout is once we get closer to New York Open. So let's see if I move this one here. Okay, so you see Bitcoin range. So these blue lines here were the zones for June's POC. Yeah. So you see this profile on this TPO profile for June, you have this section here and this section here. So that's why I drew these 2 zones. And if we zoom in closer, so since July, we pretty much ranged in these 2 zones. We did hit this weekly section here. This was from a weekly TPO. If I turn on this, I think you can kind of see it here. It's from I believe it's from this TPO profile. But anyways, we did range and chop for a little bit there, and you see once July's monthly POC went below it, we still chopped here, but we did see a little bit of chop here around the POC. But once we accepted above it, that's when we saw the breakout. Right now we are around all-time highs, so a possible entry for me would be if we retrace somewhere down here. Let's see if we do a composite. Come on, I forgot how you can. There we go. So if we do a composite here and turn off the other indicators, you can see that price is like around all-time highs here. We did reach, looks like 111,888 or so in May. So I would expect to maybe see some consolidation here if we do see some, but a nice spot to bid for me would be around the point of control of that area, which I'm guessing it's gonna be probably like around this section if you're kind of like liberal with it. Okay. So I'd like to see price kind of like keep building this zone here, so that way like this zone can expand a little bit like this. So for that to happen, you're gonna want to see price action more or less like chop around this section. That's where I would maybe be looking for an entry. The better entries were hitting like this section here. Appeal one section. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, we'll see what happens with TikTok's live stream, but I just gotta notice that it wasn't original content. But anyways, we broke this section. We're testing all-time highs. For me, if I wasn't already in, I would get in like around the breakout here. I might look for something on the order flow charts, like either a shift in delta, or if I see like some imbalances, that might be a good spot to get in. But yeah, Bitcoin at all-time highs. Another way to get Bitcoin exposure would be through something like IBIT, which again, it's all-time highs. It's pretty much the Bitcoin chart, if I remember correctly. So IBIT is another way to get in if you're looking to get in with like your Roth IRAs or 401ks or something like that. There's also MicroStrategy, MSTR, which it isn't quite as like it isn't breaking all-time highs currently, but it's pretty close. So we'll see how this does tomorrow. On this composite profile, let's see. Okay, so it's pretty much testing this last like upper zone here. And if we turn on the other points of control, you can see today, was it today? Yeah, so today, Wednesday, we tested this like monthly and weekly point of control area here. But anyway, that's MicroStrategy. MSTU, it's like 2x MicroStrategy. So if you're looking for even more leverage or leverage on your leverage, this would be something to get into. Do I have? Yeah, so on TikTok, I have my current options positions, or like my contracts. I believe I do have, yeah, some MSTU calls on there. But anyway, that's Bitcoin for the most part, testing all-time highs. We'll see how it reacts the rest of this week. We do have this weekly POC here at 108. I'm not sure if we'll end up tapping it. If we don't tap this weekly POC, I want to see this node here like build out a little more, maybe a little more like this, so that way the POC can be like at this section here. That's Bitcoin. If we switch over to ETH, you can see I drew these out probably around the last stream, or the last stream I did. So if we expand these sections, you can see that we're testing this monthly zone. Let's turn on the monthly TPO just to see what they look like. Yeah, so that was based on June's TPO profile. So we are kind of testing that zone. Same thing as Bitcoin. I'd want to see it like build out, have some price action around here. So that way, just how you have this section here, this can kind of like build out something like this. But because you have this empty zone here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see something closer to this to kind of fill in this empty space here. But we are testing local highs at least. You can see here we tested this developing weekly POC. Let me turn on the TPO profiles. Anything on the monthly? Not really. And right now, just because we are beginning of July, this 3 month and 6 month, the 3 month and 6 months profiles are doing lookbacks. So they're looking at the past 3 months and the past 6 months, like starting from today, because otherwise the profiles would be pretty much the same as the monthly. So if we up the time frame a bit, we might need to do that so that the other profiles line up. I just need to give it a couple seconds. Okay, so on the quarterly profile, we still have this zone here around 2500-ish or so. We did test it earlier this week on like Sunday, like late Sunday, slash early Monday UTC time. So we tested that, and then we shot straight up pretty much. So again, I'd like to see ideally some consolidation here before maybe seeing a move higher, seeing this price action build out, and then maybe a move higher. My personal targets wise, based on these 6 months, I do like hitting this 32.23 to 33.46 as potential targets. I do have some alerts set there, and yeah, potential moves to the downsides. I mean, yeah, maybe like around this section here. If we fib it out, well, I don't want to fib it out right now, but you see this bottom section of this blue rectangle is a weekly TPO, so maybe like around there if we try to not break too much here and see maybe price action do something like this before a potential move higher. So I'm setting an alert down here around the weekly, this weekly zone. We'll see if we do get it. If we don't, then I'm okay with either getting some more exposure up here, basing it off the daily. So yeah, let's add the daily TPO, and let's see how today played out. So today we went below this daily POC, then we went above. We had a nice retest here. Here's where we might have been, like we were going below or under the daily POC, but once we accepted above, we had a nice clean retest here. This was today or Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday at 4:30 Central Time, and that was a very good spot to get in on a POC retest. For today, I believe I mentioned earlier my local lows. A local area where I'd want to get in if we do get it is around 2600 or so. You have the daily point of control here. You have the monthly zone area, support resistance zone here as well. So that's where, let me drag it a little bit lower. Yeah. So I have my alert set at like 2615 or so if we do get it. That's ETH pretty much. It looks good like long term. No, well, not super long term, but at least medium term. I do like ETH as well. I believe I do. Yeah, I do have some contracts on ETH, which is, I don't remember what it's called. Grayscale's Ethereum Trust. So that's at $22 or so. So I do have some contracts here as well to get more exposure to the upside. And that's through traditional markets on Schwab right now is my broker. Okay, so if we leave that, swapping over now to Solana, we'll wait for the profiles or indicators to load. But you'll see here we drew these like monthly zones last week, I believe. We chopped around in between them for a bit, and now we're retesting the high, like the upper area of last month's TPO profile. let's turn on last month's profile just to see. Yeah, so we're retesting like this section right here. So I do like it where it's at. I don't want to see it move too much to the downside. I do want to see maybe price action consolidate a little bit if we are going to move higher. Potential entries for me would be right now is an okay one, a little bit lower, but around the top section of this support resistance area. Let me expand that out. I'll expand this one out too. Okay, so given where we are right now, I do like a potential buy around the bottom section of here of this monthly support resistance zone at around 155. So I'll set an alert there. If we do get it, may be interested in going long, but we'll see what the price action looks like and what the order flow charts look like as well. If we do break down from there, the next area where I'd want to go long would be this. Like this is previous month's support resistance zone. Right now you have the weekly POC here. Let me draw an arrow. Okay. So you have the weekly point of control here. You have the monthly point of control here. So because this is a higher time frame, I do like this section for support resistance. You can see it has like a nice top section here for like this profile. So this makes it easier to draw the support resistance zone. So if we zoom in, that's pretty much like the point of control zone. Oh, did I delete my template? Nope. Okay. So if we do see price retrace back down, this is another spot where I may be interested in getting in. In fact, I like that more than the 155 area. But we'll see what the order flow charts look like once we approach it. Order flow wise, I'm looking for either a change in delta or to seeing some stacked imbalances is what I've been using on ExoCharts to find a better entry for me. Yeah, so potential moves, targets for a move to the downside would be for me this weekly POC or this monthly POC section here. If we don't get those, I'd want to maybe get back in around 155 or so, and targeting, I think it was still like 170. Is this an untested? Yeah, that's targeting like May's POC would be a good target for me. Let's see, where's May? Yeah, so May's POC is at like 171 or so. If we draw this out here, make it like this. Okay. So we have May's point of control at like 171. We have the zone labeled out. If we zoom into May and we see where price action currently is at, we are currently currently kind of testing this zone from like 154 to 155 or so. If we go to the current month's TPO profile, or no, that's June's, 155 to 154 is also like this section here. Is that the point of control? No, so it looks like the point of control did end up being lower. But if we expand this section here, and we say that's June 2025 support resistance zone. Okay. And this was based on like the entire section here. So I'm gonna actually fade this support resistance area. There we go. So here we have price attempting to break out of this like darker blue area. We failed it. So for me, I'd want to check out the order flow charts and then see if we see like a shift in delta. I would like to see maybe a price action reach back this 152 area for a bit and then maybe bounce back up. Yeah, but we'll see what that looks like for the rest of the week. I noticed I didn't really show you guys a lot of Excel charts today, but if we switch over to Excel charts, if you're on TikTok, you'll have to switch to landscape. Let's see. Okay. Swan Soul, we see we recently had price action shift to the downside since like 2 hours ago right now. So here, this right now is the Delta 10K chart. So you see on the Delta chart, you're seeing a lot of volume come in here around the daily open, which makes sense. And we have negative delta here, negative 10K, negative 10K, negative 10K. If we switch over to the volume profile, not the volume profile, but like the volume, like these are volume candles based on every 25,000 volume. So here you can see the change in delta because volume is consistent. So with volume, you see green volume, positive volume coming here, then negative volume here, and you see negative 15K here, which was what time zone is this in? 7. Okay, like around 7 or so, around the New York daily open, I mean. So we see negative delta come in, we see a shift in positive delta and then negative delta as well here. So we're not seeing any strong positive, like strong green numbers basically to indicate that price is gonna keep going higher. So right now, if we switch over back to TradingView, I would want to wait and see. So like once these are good, this price is going to keep going to the downside. But on Excel charts, I don't want to wait until I see like on the volume candle, on the volume candles, I don't want to see a shift in seeing like a few green candles here. Like this was a good one, like a 9.1K and then a 12K candle here. This was okay. This was, let's see, today at around 6:30, and then again around like the daily open, you saw some positives candles, like a 25k candle here, so like a lot of positive delta there, but we couldn't sustain it for even just like 2 candles. And we are getting more negative delta here more recently. So until you see a shift in delta, or more, when you see these colors turn green, that's when, for me, it may indicate, okay, we're finally done selling, and then we're going to look for a reason to hop back in once buyers are in control. So that's on the volume candles. On the delta candles, because you have the same, like you get a new candle every positive or negative delta, 10k delta right now. You are getting negative delta, negative delta, negative delta. So until you see positive delta come in, like a few in a row, that's where I may be interested. Or if you see like a few positive delta candles with a shift in volume. So here around the daily open, you saw a negative 10k candle with a relatively high amount of volume compared to the other recent candles. This had 195k versus like 131 like a few hours ago or an hour ago. So yeah, this was noticeable. So we're gonna wait and see until these sellers are done selling. You'll know they're done selling when you get these candles to shift green on the delta chart on XO. So yeah, that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. If we shift back over to TradingView, we can see Solana again. We'll see when the sellers are done selling, to see if we find a opportunity for an entry. On the Ethereum side, same thing. I mean, relatively, but because we did have a massive move today, overall on like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, I would expect to see some consolidation at least, and they're all moving together for the most part. You can see that Solana is having like more of a, there's more sellers there than on Bitcoin or Ethereum, like percentage wise. Bitcoin is down 0.14, Ethereum 0.08, and Solana negative 0.3. So yeah, we'll see how these charts play out for the rest of the week. And yeah, that's it for this week. And I'll make another stream for sure Wednesdays, maybe Fridays, but we'll see.